Good morning and welcome to another stream from PKS Sylvia. So this stream will be being uploaded to YouTube. So if you are watching from YouTube, make sure you jump in and like my page to catch me when I do go live. So the plan today is just to do a couple of chill games. So we will be using the Sable IV and Cursor IV deck that I showcased in my last video. Now with this deck, our aim is to be going first. We want to get the Cursor down and we want to start doing some damage and just punishing them for attaching their energy. So we haven't got any draw support here, which is the first thing I can see. Also, obviously, haven't really pulled anything great, so this is not a good first turn for us. But we will take what we can get. So a fairy deck, that's not particularly something you see a lot of. Fairies obviously being cycled out. So this isn't a deck you'd particularly, be stressed or worried about. Hey Daniel, thanks for the like. So we are still just waiting. They're taking quite a while to do their turn, but that's fine. Alright, and getting in a little bit of chip damage. So we are going to attach that energy and we are going to Marnie, not use that Crobat. We don't want to fill our bench up with Crobats unless we absolutely have to. Now, normally I would switch this out for the Cursor to get the Cursor out the front, but I can't ignore the fact that that is a free kill, so. So the Crobat works well in this deck because obviously it's used for draw support. So a lot of decks that play it don't make use of it. With this deck being the combination of Psychic and Dark, we can actually make use of the Crobat. Now, it sucks a little bit there not having that Cursor up front, so they're getting the free energy attachments. So at this point we are going to retreat out to the Cursor. Just because having that Crobat at the front there is no real benefit to us. We will add a second Sableye. So again, this deck is going to be the base on which I'm working for once Chilling Reign releases, and I've got new tool cards, new item cards, new stadium cards, obviously new Vs and Vmaxes. So this is the base that we're going to work with when we are building our first Chilling Reigns deck. So this person is quite slow with their turns, but that is okay. What we're looking for is ideally we're going to want some energy, so we're probably just going to Professor's Research this entire hand. There's nothing specifically. We might Pokecom the Sableye for a Cursor. We're happy for that Mew to be discarded. That's just in there for the likes of Rapid Strike Tech. So we're going to discard this hand. Hopefully, there we go. Pull some decent energies. That's what we want. Now we've got no damage counters on that Crobat out there, so there's no point trying to switch out for the Sableye. But ideally they're going to try and hit us soon, so we will put some energy on that Cursor. So that Horror Energy will add 20 damage when they hit us. So again, more damage counters, more damage Sableye will do later on. And obviously the Turbo Patch being able to bypass Ursula's ability. So there's only just over 2 months left where we will be versing these kinds of decks. So all of the GX cards, Welder particularly, that's going to hurt fire decks to be losing Welder. So a lot of these, there'll be no fairy types once it has been cycled out. So it will be good. I'm not going to miss fighting these GX cards, that's for sure. I've tried to build all of my decks kind of so that they're ready once August hits. So I'm not having to reshuffle all of my decks then, but it does mean in some cases I leave myself at a slight disadvantage. So we'll add our energy to our Sableye. We can switch out to the Sableye, and nice and easy, we can take that out. I don't think we've got no energy discarded, so we can't make use of that Turbo Patch. So we're probably just going to have to Marnie next turn. Ideally, again, wanting to bring out a Cursor just to damage them, get those initial damage counters, so that Sableye can come in. And that's right, they've done our job for us. So at this stage here, we are going to retreat out. Now we're going to retreat out to the cursor that's damaged purely because it means we can hit instantly. So, and we are going to, I think we're just gonna hold this hand for now. We've got an energy there, it's not too bad. We've got our draw support. So we'll take this guy out and we'll spread some damage counters. And that is perfect for us, so we can retreat back out to the Sableye. And good game. So it's definitely a bit of it's more of a long play deck. You don't come in doing big damage off the bat. You've got to be strategic about placing those damage counters and not letting too many cursors go down in the process. But if you are, you know, methodical about how you do it and you're patient, so it's definitely not a fast-paced deck, this one. There's a stadium card called Old Cemetery that will be part of the Chilling Reign. So that adds 2 damage counters every time energy is placed on a non-psychic Pokemon. So that is definitely a card that's going to be making it into the deck. And again, we've got the Sableye off the bats. Not ideal. We don't have any more draw support, so this is not a good first hand. And we don't want to put that Mew in our bench until we know if we need it. And a cursor, so that's perfect. So what we can do now is we can throw our hiding energy and we can retreat straight out to our cursor and we can end our turn. Alright, so that horror energy comes in handy for when they want to attack us. And at this point, we want to just boss's orders anything so that they're encouraged to add more energy. Alright, so we want to avoid too many hits like that. So I am going to attach the other horror and retreat out, and we're going to just money and see what our hand changes to. So getting that second cursor, we can get that set up, that'll be nice, and spread some damage around. So again, we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. So we need another dark energy so that we can get that sable eye. We need to get rid of this colossal. So we are again, we're just gonna straight money, hoping all we want is that dark energy. Oh, even better, we got to switch as well. So we will switch out. We will add that second sable eye, and we will get rid of this colossal. So as you can see, once you've got a few damage counters on it, it does stack up. So that was 950 damage. That is, you know, almost 3 times what is required to kill the strongest G-Max, well, V-Max Pokemon. Now at this stage we can bring that cursor in because we know we're guaranteed at least to take the phalanx out. And I don't think we're going to play anything else. We might quick ball bead to grab another Sableye. So setting up that Sableye is good, and then being able to money and be prepared for the next turn is definitely worth it. So we obviously we've got no normal energies discarded yet, so we will just attack. And we will spread some more damage around. Probably like so. Right, now, unfortunately they're both psychic energies. If one of them was a dark energy, that would be perfect. So we're going to profess this and we're going to hope that we get a dark energy. Which we got plenty of, so that is great. And another switch, so we can do that. We can throw a hiding energy so we get the free switch back later. Oh, which we won't need actually, because that was game. So we've managed the 2 for 2. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Now I've been hoarding, I've got 5,000 coins. I've been hoarding these for the day that Chilling Reigns drops so that I can pretty much buy a case almost, a booster box worth of the online codes. So we will have plenty of Chilling Reigns cards as soon as possible. And I will do a small video of me buying and opening those to see what we can pull. And a Molly. So we have kind of a consistent habit here of our first hand being terrible, which does lead to the fact that the balance in this deck is not quite right. You don't want to be pulling this many Mollies or this many undesirable first hands. So it is something that we are going to need to look into and be aware of when we are building our Chilling Reigns deck from this base. We did get the Cursor, which is nice. So if this being a Mad Party deck from the looks of it, I have versed a few Mad Parties with this deck and it works well, having that cursor keeping the pressure on the energy. So, and being able to spread damage counters around with obviously these mons not having a great deal of health points. We should be looking pretty for this one. So we will attach our energy and we will just straight professors. It's always handy to have a couple of energies in the discard pile because we do have those turbo patches. And I'm going to... We're going to keep that boss's orders. And we'll maybe grab one of the hiding energies. So we want to make sure we get a Sableye pretty quickly. This being another card that is going to cycle out come August, so we're not going to have to worry about not being able to play stadium cards anymore. Now, ideally we want the hiding energy on the Sableye, but if we want to be able to attach multiple energies in this turn, we kind of have to suck it up and go the hiding energy on the Cursula, which won't give the retreat cost, but it will give energy, and then we can use bead to attach the dark to the Sableye. Obviously the first thing I'm noticing here is we're getting pretty low on cards and not having any kind of draw support, so hopefully in the next turn we pull something that can be handy there. Now doing that, we'll kill that Bunnelby. And we can go 1, 2, 3. So we are still hoping either for them to Marnie or for us to pull some kind of draw support, whether that be a Quick Ball or a Professor's or a Marnie ourselves. Or a Crobat. Now if we're doing a quick count, we can go 4, 5, so they've got 5 Mad Partymons in their discard. So it's always good to keep a mental note of that. And being forced to switch, so we will switch to our Sableye. Hopefully they can't take that down. Yeah, beautiful. Now we want a Dark Energy, which we did not get, so that is unideal. So what we can do here is we obviously drop another Sableye, and we are going to bosses out. We'll bosses back out the Oranguru, just so that hopefully they can't take out the Sableye next turn. But it does give us a chance to have a look in here, and we can pull out a Professor's Research to get us that draw support that we're looking for. So they've got 7 now, so you're looking at about 140 damage they can do. I believe that's how it works, yeah, 20. And the other thing to note is obviously these decks, the Mad Patty decks, they burn through their cards so fast. So the other way you can win is obviously just to try and kind of stall them out. Which isn't ideal, and it's not the strategy I personally go for, but it is always, you know, your last minute option. Right, now we've got that energy, which is perfect. We've already got a backup Sableye there, so we can afford to discard this Sableye and not fill up our bench unnecessarily. Now what have we got? We've got 2 Psychics in there. So ideally, we could Turbo Patch for the cursor, but I think we might just hold off on that for now. Now that is unfortunate because this Bunnelby obviously doesn't have any immediate damage counters on it. But the first thing that I think is we have our Horror Energy, and if we can land this Turbo Patch, which is perfect. So yeah, right, we took 2, but we are instantly set back up. So we'll take out this Bunnelby, and we're also going to take out this Sinistea in the back there. So at this point, they actually just gave us the game because they brought out that Poltergeist. If they had brought something else in, we would have had to rely on getting a boss's orders, which we didn't have. So because I can do the damage, because it has a damage counter on it, if they'd have brought anything else out, we would have lost. So they actually, right there at the end, just gave us that game. So that is definitely an interesting first hand. There's a lot we can do in a first turn here. However, there is no draw support, is again the first thing I notice. So we will attach, we will add our XP share, and we'll pass it back. So no cursor for that first turn. Now, Lucario V. So potentially we need to be looking out for damage done to our bench. So I'm glad we've got the Marnie there because that's probably what we're going to be using. Obviously that horror energy is no good to us at the moment. And that psychic is no good to us at the moment, so we will Marnie. And that puts us in a much better position. So we can attach. Now, even though I just attached a hiding energy, we are going to use our switch card just so that we've got less cards in our hand for our Crobat, because who knows, that one card, being that quick ball, might be the difference. So we've got a turbo patch here. So we can quick ball away a psychic energy. And we'll grab another Crobat for next turn. But in doing that, it allows us to use our Turbo Patch, which it didn't work. But that's fine. So instantly, that Lucario is within range because I'm doing 180 damage to it. So that's why getting that cursor out there, even though yes, okay, it might get taken out and we're relying on revenge kills, damaging them for attaching that energy is so vital. And we've got the forfeit. Interesting. So we're gonna go for one more because we want to get our 5 tokens being our next prize. And yes, we would like to go first. Now again, a Mully, so we have already mentioned that the balance in our deck is slightly off. But that is just due to a lot of the cards that I want to add to it are Chilling Reigns cards. So the first things that come to mind are obviously Galarian Rapidash, Sylveon, just because she's a personal favourite and I can't build a Psychic deck and not put a Sylveon in there. So getting that horror energy is always great. and we're going to hold off on using that clickable. We're just going to let it pass. Yoga, interesting. Right, so again, we can attach our energy. Now we're going to quick ball away a psychic, and we're going to grab another Ursula, just so that we've got one kind of in the back waiting. And we will mine. Interesting hand we've gotten there, but that is fine. We are just going to do a little bit of chip damage. That's fine, because if they didn't, we would have. So we're not going to quite take out this Kyogre. And we have a Psychic in there. So we are going to Hardening Energy. We will attach to that. So we've got a little bit of energy starting to spread around. Oh no, it does take out, right? 2 and 3. So now at this stage, unless if they can't get another card down, which obviously they will be able to now, we would have been able to take that out and that would have won the game. So there you go, they didn't add something to the bench, which surprises me because they pulled them into their hands. So at this stage now, all we do is switch out to our Sableye. that gets us our 5 tokens. I will do a video in the not too distant future where we actually use up a heap of our tournament tokens. That will be more of a longer, you know, come in and chat, because there's a lot of downtime in between battles. So. But we are on a hot streak, so let's continue. And again, a mulligan. And we've gone from having nothing decent to a lot of cursors. So we're only going to put the 2, because we want the one that's out there and a backup one. Ah, Eternatus, that is a deck I have not seen in a while. So we're definitely going to have to be a little bit smarter about how we play this, just because obviously these are Vs, there's no VMAX, there's no card mon that I have that can handle a big hit from Eternatus. So we do have to be careful how we play this. And not getting any energy is not a good start. So we are going to grab a Crobat. Again, I'm just going to switch to another cursor just so I can use some cards out of my hand. Right, not ideal, but better than nothing. So, do I add it to the Cursor or the Sableye? I think we'll add it to the Cursor for now. And pass it back. At this stage, if I can get a psychic energy, I can at least, well, I could have, I can't now, I could have at least taken out that coughing. So this is the first time I've come up against an Eternatus deck using this one, so it's very interesting to see kind of how it goes. And it's not going fantastic, that's for sure. So that's going to be taking some big damage. We are going to... So we're actually going to boss his orders out. I think this Crobat, if we do the Zigzagoon, they can just pick up net, scoop up net. So at least the Crobat, they have to attach the energy. And we're going to start stacking on the Sableye. And we will Pokecom away for another Crobat, because we need some more draw support. Which we are not getting. Now at this stage, let's mention that is a hiding energy. This stage we're going to leave that XP show because I'm not entirely sure where it's needed the most. So we will pass it back. I'm going to take our poison damage. So ideally what we're looking for here is just to get those initial damage counters on the likes of those Eternatus VMAX. Once we've got a couple of damage counters on them, then Sableye can come in, but until then, you don't want that Sableye out the front unless it's doing some damage. Alright, so we might dump one on each. And Now I'd like to use bead to get that dark energy on the Sableye, but that uses up my supporter, so I think we're gonna Mani. Now at this stage that cursor is going down, whether we like it or not. So we're going to attach this one. We've got the horror energy in the back there to add to the next cursor, so we're going to have to let this one go down. So that's fine, we knew it was coming. Now that's slightly less ideal, hoping we can get another psychic energy or a horror energy. Which we did, and we've got a Mani, so we're still in a pretty good position. I'm curious why they could attach and they didn't take damage. That's very interesting. They should have taken damage. So at this stage, we're actually going to boss this out, this one, because I'm not entirely sure why it didn't take damage. So we're going to at least get a little bit of damage on them. Yeah, see, so now they've taken damage. So I don't know why they didn't take damage earlier. There's no Mew on their bench to have stopped. And we're not going to take an energy. But we are. Right, so it's a psychic we've got. So again, we're gonna money. Not ideally giving us any great hand there, but we can at least take out one of these. We're not going down without a fight. So at this point here, I want to top deck a Cursor. Because we've got the horror energy, we've got a turbo patch to potentially get us another horror energy, we've got our switch. That being kind of never mind. Actually, that works quite well for us. We've got our energy, we've got our patch. So now we just want to hit that coin flip. Because we want to get just a little bit more damage on that VMAX before we bring the Sableye back. So we'll throw our cursor. And we will try for our turbo patch, so fingers crossed. That hurts. I'm going to try one more time for that turbo patch. Thank you. So now we're looking for a boss's orders, which I'm pretty sure we've only used. We've used 2, so there should still be 1 in the deck. I'm pretty sure we're running 3. And there it is. So we didn't win this one, but we sure tried our hardest. So an hour and 11 minutes and 11 seconds, we are going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.